Hey guys, well, welcome to another episode of the Maestro. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. Today we're testing the Aprilia RSV1100 Amauri. What is an Amauri, you may ask? Well, this particular bike is the greatest RSV1000 in the world. But before we get into the bike, I just want to remind you that this channel is the channel that presents the smooth, fast, safe, clean riding. And with that in mind, we'd just like to ask you to like and subscribe, and we'd really appreciate it. What is Amauri? This is Amauri. Amauri is the quintessential Aprilia guru, and here he is working on my RSV4, and he has thrown everything you could possibly throw at this RSV1000, and man, does it show. So enjoy. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Maestro. Today we have a very, very special motorcycle, and we're going to be doing a Maestro road test on it, which means we're going to be really putting this bike through its paces. This bike started life out as a 2004 RSV 1000 factory. Now, just coincidentally, I owned a Colin Edwards edition 2004 RSV 1000. And it was the first year of the RSV 1000, which replaced the incredible 1000 Mille R, and this is the RSV 1000. Now, this particular bike is a far cry from the bike I owned. It started life as the exact same bike, but what has been done to this bike is pretty much everything you could possibly do to an RSV 1000. I'll tell you, the results speak for itself. This bike is, we're going to call it the RSV1100 Amauri edition. And Amauri is a Aprilia guru that used to live down in Huntington Beach. He's since retired, I guess, to Texas. But he was all of us Aprilia guys in the LA area. He was the go-to guy. He was the guru. He was the guy that knew everything about every Aprilia twin ever made. And this was his personal bike, and he took it and he brought everything up to speed. As you can see, the entire bike is carbon fiber, magnesium wheels, and he bumped it up to 1100 from the original 1000 twin, and it probably makes, I don't know, 165, 170 horsepower, gobs of mid-range, and we're going to go through all of the things that he's done with us. But in the meantime, we're going to take our proverbial run back down to the beach, where we will speak with the owner of this bike, who you may have already met, as if you remember our R1200S BMW video. And so that's what we're going to do. Today, it's another beautiful day in Southern California. It's not as hot as it's been. It's late September, and it's just a beautiful day for a ride. So let's take it down to the beach, and then we'll give you the G2 on every aspect of this incredible motorcycle. Okay, so let's take this incredible machine for a little stint up the mountain. And the first thing I want you to notice is the incredible exhaust sound coming from this twin, this beautiful twin with a full Akrapovic exhaust. So check it out. This is like my second time on the bike, and as you can tell, I'm instantly comfortable with it. The magnesium wheels, the Öhlins race suspension just makes this bike perform so flawlessly. It's such a joy to ride.
Well, as you can see, this thing is just incredible. And this is my first ride on it. And I'll tell you, if I had some time on this bike, I think I would give a lot of RSV4s and S1000s a hard time on it.
All right, well, we made it down to Malibu. As you can see, we're in our usual favorite spot with the beautiful Pacific Ocean and the Malibu coast. I know, we live in a great place. We're very spoiled, very privileged, and not to diminish the fact that we get to ride these incredible bikes. And this really is an incredible machine. And to tell us a little bit more about it, again, you may have met him with the R1200S video, but to tell us a little bit more about it, let me bring in my good friend Cyrus, who is the proud owner of this incredible machine. Good to see you again, sir.
How are you? Hello, everyone.
Doing great, doing great. Yeah. So, this is an incredible motorcycle. I mean, this is, you know, in cars they have something called resto mods, right? Where they take an older motorcycle and they really improve it, bring it up to an incredible level. I would put this kind of in that category, yes?
I would say so. For an RSV1100, I think
this is as good as it gets.
Yeah,
right? So tell us a little bit about it. Let's start off with Amauri. Now, you know Amauri for years. Tell us a little bit about the background of this motorcycle and how it came to be.
Yeah, Amauri Nunes is the guru of Aprilias, as you know. I'm sure anybody listening is going to also realize that. So he was about to retire.
Right.
And I was going to take my Aprilia to Ono to him for service. And I go, I got to catch him before he retires, because after that, he's moving. And I don't know who I want to touch my bike. You know,
it's a major problem.
Right. So when I went there, he had like a couple of bikes that he was like working on and stuff like that. And this one was actually just like yours, with the silver bodywork.
Right.
And it was sitting over there, and I asked him what that is. He goes, I'm building that bike. It's got the 1060 big work kit, and it was brand new, but it had a lot of special parts, like the whole front end.
So let's go through it one by one, because to really appreciate this, you really have to realize just how much went into these bikes. We're not going to just say, oh, it has Öhlins front and rear suspension, because the original bike came with Öhlins front and rear suspension, but this is not that, right? So start off with the front suspension.
Yeah. So the front forks are off of a 1098R. 1098R.
Right.
Okay.
Which was the $45,000 Ducati in that day.
Right. Yes. Right. The brakes are GP brakes.
Okay.
You know, which at first I thought, you know, these are small brakes, but they're small, but they're fat, and they're amazing.
And you got the upgraded Brembo everything on it.
And I got the upgraded Brembo master cylinders for both the clutch side and the brake side.
Okay.
And that's a huge improvement. It's got the Aprilia Nera triple.
Okay, so the Nera was a special edition that they came out with just 1 year, which was all black bodywork, but it was not carbon fiber.
It was carbon fiber.
Oh, it was also carbon fiber? All right, I stand corrected.
Yes.
So it was also carbon fiber,
and
it was just a special edition they made.
That was the special thing about the Nera. Right. That it was all bodywork, it was all carbon fiber.
Okay.
And
Nera, of course, means black in Italian.
Yes. So when I was at Amauri's shop, I purchased this from him, and I go, the bodywork has a few blemishes,
right?
You know, and well, how can I get rid of that stuff and whatnot? So he goes, I have a whole body set of a Nera, brand new, including the tank. So
everything's carbon fiber, the hull, the tail, the tank, the body, everything's carbon fiber.
Correct.
Öhlins front end off a 1098R. The rear shock.
The rear shock is a TTX.
A TTX.
Which at the time there was none.
Right.
That one's actually, I don't want to some racer that Amauri knew.
Okay.
That was a shot off of his bike, off of a race that they did.
Okay.
I don't
So
wanna
it has
say the
one
name,
race
so
on it, and
whatever. It's
so you
funny.
have the full-on Ohlins racing front end,
Yes.
the TTX shock,
Yes.
the carbon fiber bodywork, the Brembo upgraded both clutch and brake master cylinders, as well as you said the calipers were special CNC machine calipers.
Yes, the calipers are actually like the M4s, but these are the CNC version.
Okay.
Which are probably a lot pricier. It's got the 520 chain conversion.
Okay.
And also an unobtainium item these days is the exhaust system. It's got the Superbike Aprilia exhaust system.
So a full-on Superbike Acro exhaust.
Right, and the motor's been obviously built by Amauri,
Right.
and he dynoed it at 140 horsepower
At
to the wheel.
At the rear wheel.
So it's got to be making 165
Yeah.
at least to the crank.
I mean, I remember when I had this bike, they quoted it as like 143 at the crank.
Right.
And now it's 143 at the rear wheel. You lose 15% in the transfer, so 160 would not be unreasonable
No,
in any
160,
way.
65.
And this thing pulls like a locomotive. I mean, I've ridden this bike. You'll see me on it as well. And I'm telling you what, coming out of corners, when I was following Cyrus, I'm on my Tuono V4, and coming at the initial grunt coming out of the corners, this thing actually pulled the Tuono, unless I was, at 10,000 RPM in the Tuono, but just normal fast riding, this will initially pull it, then the Tuono would catch it on top end, but incredible mid-range drive coming out of this. And part of the reason is you have magnesium wheels underneath.
It's got Marvich magnesium wheels.
All right, so
Which
super
are time
light.
correct and period correct, and just this bike, there's nothing I can do to it.
Right.
anymore.
Right.
It's
So,
done.
I mean, the ultimate, this is probably in the world, I would say, easily the ultimate RSV 1000.
Probably.
And, the sum of the parts sometimes do not equal the entire bike. But in this case, the sum of the parts all work together, and it makes an incredible machine. I mean, I've ridden this just a couple of times for a short amount of time, and I can tell you I was instantly comfortable on this bike and just flying and gapping some of the normal people that we ride with, who were probably a little bit surprised that I would hop on a bike like this and just walk away from them. But it's that good, it's that linear, it's that comfortable, and it's that confidence inspiring a bike. So
Correct. When I was getting it from Amauri kept on talking to me about the front end on this bike. He goes, the front end is so amazing, and he's right.
yeah,
The front end on it is just planted.
and
You
you
know?
can do whatever you want. You can get it all the way to the edge of the front tire, and it just is like, all right, so what else do you want to do? And it's really that good. And it's a classic motorcycle. I mean, it's 20 years old now.
I mean, it's not an RSV4,
No,
but it's a twin, and the feel that you get out of these motorcycles is just
for the
something
old
else.
twin guys, you can really appreciate not only the feel, but the sound. There's nothing like a twin sound around 9,000 or 10,000 RPM, right?
That's
I mean,
right.
it just is great. I mean, I have my Tuono twin right over there, which is the same generation
Yeah.
as this, and it's just a delightful feeling. I mean, it's not as fast as the V4. Okay, we got that, but the sensation that you get from a twin,
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything like it.
No. Yeah.
So that's-
I mean, we love it.
Yeah.
Some people, I gave this bike to someone to ride. I'm not going to name him, but he rode it, and he goes, "This thing doesn't have a quick shifter."
I know. They just don't get it, do they?
They don't get it.
don't get it. And
No.
you put a nice seat with a little tricolore Italian flag on it.
Yeah, a little
Looks
bit of
very
touches.
nice. The gas cap is a little upgraded. What else? That's about it. You're running the Michelin GP2 in the rear and the Cup 2 in the front, which
Correct.
is a great combination
Correct.
of tires, especially on a bike like this. If you have an S1000 or something, a V4S, then you go with Cup 2's front rear. But those GP tires, they just stick and they last double the amount of of mileage as I get out of the Cup
That's
2.
right,
So
yeah.
I just love the new GP2s. They're fantastic. Anyway, all right. Go ahead.
The only thing I don't have is the carbon fiber cowl.
So if anybody watching has a carbon fiber cowl that you want to donate
Please
to the
reach
cause,
out.
reach out. So anyway, but you hardly notice it. You really can't notice it. And boy, it is great. And you have rear sets on it as well. That's
Yes,
other than, of course, you have rear sets.
Can't ride a bike without rear set.
Let's go back up the mountain and see how she rides.
Let's go ride this.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Pretty cool, huh? Well, our friend Cyrus not only owns some incredible motorcycles, but as you can see, he actually gets out and rides them. These are not just showpieces. These things are put to the test. Just look how easily and stable and powerful this bike is as this outstanding rider just navigates this thing on this incredible road. I'm working hard to stay with him on my V2 Tuono, and the power, the agility, the stability of this RSV is just incredible. Well, as you can see, we run into some incredible machinery out there on the crest. But as you watch Cyrus just pilot this incredible Amauri 1100 RSV, you can just see how effective all of these upgrades are on this bike. Man, I'll tell you what, I would love to own this bike, and you would surprise a lot of people on some very fast machinery. Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Maestro showing the smooth, fast, safe, clean lines on these incredible roads in Southern California. Thanks so much for watching. And again, if you guys would do us a favor, just like and subscribe, that would be awesome, and we'll bring you more cool stuff.